Gang-related violence erupted in Denver's northeast neighborhood last week. Denver Safety Manager Stephanie O'Malley announced on Thursday that the city will invest $500,000 into community outreach. And Mayor Michael Hancock has ordered the police department to beef up patrols and install additional halo cameras in the affected area. Patty, hopefully this is something that can be quelled with these new policies, but I don't know if this is going to be enough. What do you think of the response to the situation so far?
Well, how about slow? I mean, there have been 17 murders in Denver since the first of the year, and most of them are gang murders. It is definitely a faster pace than we've had for many years. So why are we just now getting them to step up just because people are paying a little more attention, or they're more concentrated in the Whittier neighborhood? Or because, as Leon Kelly says, because now those areas are gentrifying, so white people are paying attention when the meetings used to just have blacks, then just have browns talking about gangs. It also feels almost like Leon Kelly is the city's entire gang fighting plan. He's been at it for 30 years. He is still the go-to guy. Maybe the city has been doing a lot more behind the scenes. We've heard about closed-door meetings between gang members and old gang alumni and city officials to see if they can quell things, but clearly it hasn't been too effective yet.
Dave, the issues are making a lot of headlines, but I feel that we're just a couple days away from what should be a major municipal election, and the two don't seem to be colliding as one issue, which I think maybe in a bigger city this would happen. What do you think about its timing and the moves that the city proposes?
Well, of course, Mayor Hancock doesn't have substantial opposition, and this shows that the practical way you can make things work in Denver is, first of all, whatever your party, stay on the good side of the Chamber of Commerce, be very pro-development, try to get them as much welfare as possible, so Denver can be a sanctuary city for welfare queens if they happen to be big business. Promote that, you'll get a lot of campaign contributions. That scares off everybody else. And so then whether you're doing a very good job running the police and promoting public safety, that's not such a big deal to your welfare-oriented campaign contributors, and you can cruise to re-election.
Eric, that was a different take when we looked at the whole gang violence issue, but we're talking about this, while it's officially May Day, this is happening in April. If we have a hot, contentious summer, and frankly, it looks like we may have that, this could get even worse for the city. Have they responded enough?
Well, first, I think I want to start by saying David missed the memo here that it's $5 into the pot for every time you use the word welfare today. So I think you're at 20 or 25 at this point in time. Of course, they haven't done enough, but you never know what enough is. And the whole gang problem has been somewhat intractable, certainly cyclical for years and decades in Denver. We all remember the summer of '93, which is now 22 years ago in the rearview mirror. There have been other problematic summers before. We're talking about the gang problem in Denver and the dozen murders sitting here on May 1st. And the temperature hadn't gotten warm, school hasn't let out, the summer hasn't yet started here. So it is worrisome, and it does portend a long, difficult summer. I think those of us in Denver, and obviously everyone across the country's had a case study this week in the problems of inner cities, and so I think this is much bigger than Denver. Thank God we haven't had the problems of Baltimore or hadn't had that particular horrific incident. But this country hadn't come up with a solution to inner city problems. There isn't an easy solution. It is not just about money. Maybe there are some answers that have a dollar sign attached to them, but if dollar signs did the trick, we would have started solving this problem back in the 1960s with the war on poverty and a whole lot of other things that have injected billions and now trillions of dollars into urban America. So these problems are much deeper than what you're just going to solve by throwing money at them.
Susan, what did you make of how the mayor and Safety Manager O'Malley handled it so far, and what else needs to be done?
Well, I had a bit of an issue with that crowd of people on the steps of City Hall talking about Northeast Denver, especially this week with what's been going on in Baltimore. I mean, Northeast Denver is our Baltimore, let's face it, and there are lots of people in that administration who are from Northeast Denver, so I kind of would have liked to have seen, not just symbolically, but really in a kind of act of solidarity for them to have held it in Northeast Denver. I agree with Eric that this isn't necessarily a solution a problem that you can solve with money. But when you're talking $50,000 to handle a situation that has resulted in 5 to 7 shootings in the past week, and the week isn't even over yet, compared, let's go back to the last topic, $250 million for the stock show expansion down the street, something's out of whack.